Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Heartland Heritage, where we cover the archaeology here in the Midwest in the United States, but also the rest of the United States and abroad. Today what I wanted to talk about was a specific archaeological site. It's in the state of North Carolina, in the town, or off the coast, excuse me, of the town of Beaufort, North Carolina, in the Beaufort Inlet, and that is the site of the QAR, or the Queen Anne's Revenge. Now, for those of you who don't know who or what the Queen Anne's Revenge is, it was the flagship of the pirate Blackbeard, who was also known as Edward Thatch or Teach. There's been some speculation of what his name actually was, but this is his flagship. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have always been fascinated with piracy and pirates. I think it had a lot to do with, the movies and the fictional books and the swashbuckling and the sword fighting and, looking for that buried treasure and, arr, get the treasure, the booty, arr, getting that stuff. It has always been very fascinating. I think our culture, as at least here in the Americas, has really romanticized piracy, and so but we don't know a whole lot about their actual life, especially their day-to-day activities, and so that's why this finding of this ship was so fantastic. So a little bit of a background of Blackbeard's flagship here is basically in 1996 there was a private firm that had found basically a site that had cannons, some anchors, and a lot of debris. Now, at the time, of course, they did not realize it was Queen Anne's Revenge. They just knew it was a ship of some kind. So getting permission from the North Carolina Department of Cultural Resources, they got a permit to go investigate and survey this cluster of cannons. And through doing these surveys over the next couple of years, they were finding diagnostic artifacts such as, English blunderbuss barrel, sounding weight, a bronze bell that dated in 1705, and 9 cannon tubes, 2 large anchors. I mean, there was just tons of material down there that can give us information of not only, what the ship was, but possibly who had the ship and why it was here where it was at. So overall, the assemblage that was found, and this has been going on again since 1997 until just recently, actually, it reflects many aspects. All the assemblage that has been found, brought up, cleaned, cataloged, has been found, all this stuff reflects many different aspects of 18th century maritime culture, and this is also during the golden age of piracy. So, when you find these artifacts there, so you got the parts of the ship, the equipment, the medical supplies, the weaponry, navigational tools, medicinal tools, also food preparation and storage. All this inventory that you find in studying these artifacts, you can start getting a very valuable insight on the period's naval technology, the colonial provisioning, even the slave trade. I mean, the Queen Anne's Revenge was a modified French slave ship that Blackbeard took during a raid. And also it brings up the shipboard life. So it tells you a whole lot about the everyday life of a pirate that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. Like I said, there's just not a lot out there. And here's the crazy thing: why would the Queen Anne's Revenge be so important, right? Well, if you think about, in the 18th and 17th century and all the privateering and all the piracy that was going on, besides the Queen Anne's Revenge, there were only 2 other pirate ships that have ever been confirmed, pirate ships that have been surveyed and done excavations on. Those 2 ships are the Whiteham, which was the flagship for Captain Black Sam Bellamy, and also you've got the Satisfaction, which was the Captain Henry Morgan's flagship. So you think about all the piracy that was going on during that time, and all we have to show for it is 3 ships. Like I said, no other documentation. There wasn't really very many pirates writing in their diaries. This is, day number 44, I was in the water. Day number 45, I was in the water. I mean, you don't see those diaries in there. So finding this stuff is extremely important to give us a better perspective, a perspective that many people don't see of what the pirate's life was like. Some people think it was, action and adventure. Like I said, this is how we view things, especially from our books, but you can find out their lives were very rough. They had a whole lot of um, hardships, you know, and they didn't leave necessarily as rich men, and their life expectancy certainly dropped. No, chances dropped very drastically in that kind of career field. So, you know, this kind of information is just absolutely wonderful. The site is fantastic. It was recently that they confirmed it was the Queen Anne's Revenge. They found this out through historical documentation from eyewitness accounts saying that they saw Blackbeard run the Queen Anne's Revenge aground at the Beaufort Inlet. Now, whether was intentional or by accident, that's up for speculation, but they do know for a fact there was eyewitness accounts later seeing Blackbeard leaving in another ship with a select number of crew and most of the plunder that he had gotten from his raids. Where it went from there, no one really knows as far as where he went from there until he ended up getting killed. But the documentation between when he left there and when he died is still very limited. So below is a link to the Queen Anne's Revenge website. I encourage you, if you're interested in piracy and or maritime archaeology, to give it a look. They do usually some sort of excavation or survey every year if they can, and they put those reports on their website. They got some great videos. You can feel free to contact them if you have any questions. But yeah, overall, it's a great site. I think they even have field schools every once in a while, so definitely give that a look if you're interested in piracy. And, you know, if you got any questions, feel free to post below or shoot me an email, and I will answer them to the best of my ability, or I can at least find out for you. So I guess until the next time, take care and have a great time. Peace.